All right. So, hi everyone for that's here and that's also going to check this out later. I'm Siris Raquel Rivas Verdejo. And this is for those of you that have expressed an interest in being a part of the book community. We're changing it from the Seen and Unseen Book Club to Messages from Books, and it's going to be more the community instead of this book club. There's so many people in all of our networks and all of our contacts that have had different book clubs, and this is a really different energy. We realized we wanted to match this new energy that's come up with the new way that we're calling it. uh, for me, a lot of the feedback I was getting was I, work with a lot of educators and teachers and things, and book club to them is like, well, why would I pay? One, because people are going to be paying, and two, like I am so burnt out from educating and facilitating and working. Like I don't need something that's like homework or like all these different things. Like I don't want to be having all these tasks, but I definitely there's something here that you're inviting me to. So tell me more about it. So I'm actually going to read to you the description of what we now are considering to be creating that's going to be starting in June. It has the energy of what we were calling the Seen and Unseen Book Club before, and there is something different. So you'll probably notice that as you hear what I'm going to be reading to you. So, messages from books. So, the Messages from Books community is a community of people who enjoy books as writers, readers, creators, illustrators, and energetic receivers. The books chosen and discussed have seen and unseen elements to it, such as magic, energy, health, perception, creation, personal growth, travel, and communion with the earth, just to name a few. And led by moi and the co-hosts. Hopefully, some of you that have already decided they're going to do this, they're on here. Thank you for being here. So, led by me and the host, one of the hosts, each call is going to be me with somebody else. These discussions will reveal themes, perspectives, and energies that you may or may not have been aware of before in these books and in your life. So, yes, you may have read the book or watched the movie because a lot of the books that we're picking have some movies, but are you getting all the messages? So, what if you could benefit from the powerful and perceptive mediation and channeling of the hosts in order to receive more from them, as in the books, and activate energies in your body and in your life that could enhance how you live, create, connect, and receive moving forward. So, in addition, these hangouts that we're going to be having will be a great way for people to be exposed to new books, new people, new possibilities through playfulness. Because if there's no fun, I don't want to do it. I don't know about y'all. um, and an irreverence and some piercing awareness. And for each and every one of the people that we already have lined up for these book club hangouts and chats, they have an amazing awareness. I love it. And then each of our hosts will facilitate together ways for the people to receive more of themselves through these magical books and through the magic that is themselves. So we'll be meeting monthly. Just some of the logistics. We'll be meeting monthly. Usually it's on a Thursday, 2 p.m. New York time, just to give you an idea. We have all of the dates scheduled between now and the end of 2021. So what we're looking for, and we have the first 6 calls already scheduled. We have the host for them. So what we're looking for are for people that would like to fill up the last couple of slots and want to continue onward. We're going to keep this going for however long people want to do this. Okay. So some questions that were sent in for the people that couldn't make it live, but that were definitely interested was like, what are some of the benefits of being a host? So as a co-host, we're actually inviting people to this community to acknowledge themselves in whatever way they are, those writers, those readers, those energetic receivers. And You get to pick the book. You just have to have it approved by me. But I haven't had any books that have been brought up that I'm like, oh no, it's all been like, can we do that one and that one? All I'm like, I want to do all the books. So that hasn't really been an issue. It's just to make sure that I check in with the energy of it and if it's congruent with what we're trying to invite people to. We have some people that have brought up bringing up cooking books, travel books. We definitely have some novels and some children's books already lined up, and then in addition to like self help and nonfiction books. So it's a full gamut. There's really no limit to the type of book at all. I think if I didn't already mention, somebody brought up like poetry as well. So it's really anything as long as it has these elements and as long as we're willing to discuss them and follow the energy with what people are willing to receive and take from it. So the benefit of being a co-host, so you get to play with amazing people around the world as a participant and as a co-host, because all the co-hosts are going to be participants of the group as well, of the community. So your energy's in this. You get to co-create with moi, with me. Hope that sounds like fun to you because it's kind of part of it. You get to add to your network and increase your exposure for your business. For those of you that would like more people to just know about you and what you're creating in the world, how these books and these different ideas that we're talking about have contributed to how you choose to live your life and show up. You get to have these dynamic, fun conversations about different topics. And you get to receive a commission of 15% uh, for all the people who subscribe to the community through your personal affiliate link. So every one of the co-hosts gets an affiliate link. And usually for my affiliate program, it's 8%. So it's almost double that as a co-host. So this is also could be an additional source of revenue for you. Um, and then the only thing that's required, some of you have already started to do this, but this is going to be sent to you. I have this beautiful sheet. I'm going to share the screen with me, share the screen with you all. Sorry, I've been talking for a couple hours and creating already for a couple hours. So this is going to be, you're going to get sent this as for your personal reference as well, but I'm sharing it here. So the benefits, your task as hosts, you see that part there. You get to pick the date. For those of you that have picked your date already, great. Mark it on your calendar, set all your alarms. I need to have a high definition photo of yourself for any of the social media graphics. We need to have all the information about your business, anything you'd like to invite people to. Some people are inviting people to classes, to events, to self-paced courses, to their email list, whatever it is. Need that a month before because we're going to be telling people about you before your call as soon as we're announcing the next book for the next month. And we want to have it ready to go so we're not trying to scramble, especially since many of you are traveling and doing stuff. I don't need to be like hunting you down right before to get this going. And then my team then can have this information so we can disperse it appropriately. For you to register as a participant of the community itself and add in your energy, it's just the $17 a month that we're asking everybody else to do. And then we arrive 10 minutes before the call. We're going to check in because we're also going to have translation for Italian, for French. And if there's a demand for other languages, we'll have that too. And with Zoom, I'm not sure if y'all have been playing around with it, but Zoom has this component now where they just click on the globe icon and they choose the language that they want so that they can hear their language while still seeing the entire group and everybody's faces. So it's really, really nice because you really, before how they had those breakout rooms where the interpreters had the screen and then somebody else had to have a second device. And so not everyone can have two devices going on at the same time. It was a lot of juggling. And so this has made it really beautiful, a lot easier for folks to get the language interpretation and translation that they require. And then also get to see everyone's faces with ease and not juggle all that stuff. So that's really great. So we want to check all of that ahead of time. And when you come ahead of time, that'll make it a lot easier. And then we ask for you to follow your awareness and the energy of the discussion during the call, asking yourself what people are requiring and what will create the most for everyone. And many of you are already adept at doing that. It's really different with these books, because sometimes you're like, oh, we can talk about so many different things, and then we end up talking about this one thing for the entire time, because that's what people really want. Like they want that, or like that is what they're leaning into. So really letting go of any of those projections or agendas and just feeling, let's just see what shows up. But definitely have some talking points prepared, have some questions prepared. And what's great about being able to do this with somebody else is, for those of you that have done book clubs or community discussions like this before, well, you have somebody else to ping off of and talk to, even when other people are still like, I'm not even sure what to ask or what to say, or maybe the other person will bring up the question for you, and then you can talk about that. And that's kind of going to be my role, is just, since people know me and I'm providing the space in the community, but also I'm really great at pulling out those questions and ideas from other people's heads and being aware of when people are not necessarily asking something or mentioning something, and then I'll say it for them, and then they're like, oh, thank you so much for saying that. That's what I needed. And like I needed to hear more about that. So I'll do that for y'all, and also add in some of my own little bits in there, because I'm going to read every single one of these books with y'all. I'm so excited. It's going to be so great. Any questions about that so far? Any of the stuff mentioned? All right, cool. Trying to make this pretty succinct and straightforward for y'all. The participants, they'll be invited to receive your energy, your questions, your enthusiasm, and facilitation. They'll have access to a private group. So we're going to get to like then also share that information about your business and everything in that group as well after each of the calls, but they'll also get it via email. The people, since there's going to be people coming in and out, they only get the audio replays by email. Because if all of a sudden we post it in the group, well, if they didn't pay for last month, we don't want them seeing the information for last month without having paid. All right. It's not really honoring of those that were there from the beginning and things like that. So that's how we're going to play that out. And then they'll be notified about the next book, like I mentioned before, at the end of the previous month. And for the first 6 months, we can actually tell them now, but then onward after that, we're going to keep reminding them. And then as we keep adding on more books, we will let them know what those upcoming books will be. And we already mentioned that about offering to be connected to you and your business a little bit more. Now, I already created a video that I can share with y'all as well. I'm looking at, okay, great. I'm looking at the comment in the chat that, yeah, very excited that Francophones will get to receive some more information and get to play with everybody that's going to participate in this. I mean, like for people that are Francophones, and this is, so many countries, right? And Italian speaking people, and we're actually looking at Spanish as well, since I speak Spanish, but I can't do the English call for the French and Italian translators, and then also have be doing Spanish. I mean, I could, but that's not gonna work. So I'd love to also look for a translator that could be a dedicated translator for Spanish for the book club calls as well, and have it on live. I think that would be really, really great. A lot of the people are really looking for this connection and to feel supported and to have something fun and light that still contributes to them while they keep going in and out of different quarantines, and like all the different policies keep changing all over the place. And so let's see if we can provide that for them and a lot more. I get that this was going to be that and a lot more. Any other questions? Okay, cool. I'd love to share with you, so our lineup right now, what we already have set up and who we already have set up to facilitate the calls, and for our book club, what books we already have. So I'm going to start off the first call, going to set the groundwork for y'all. Welcome everybody. And that starts on June 10th. So the entire journey starts June 10th at 2 p.m. New York. And each call is an hour. As a host, I recommend not only arriving 10 minutes earlier, but also maybe having some wiggle room in your schedule so that if people have a lot of questions that you can keep chatting a little, like maybe 15 minutes afterwards. Like if you want to, if it's light for you to continue to go and talk, I'm not going to cut you off. I'm already adding that wiggle room into my schedule. So just know that that's a possibility. And the book that I'm starting off with is actually Percy Jackson's The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. And I'm gonna, part of what I'd like for all of the hosts to do is so to have on your radar. It's just a recommendation. It's not a requirement, but I think it might be fun for each person to do like a 1 or 2 minute video about their book and why they chose their book, like what they've already gotten from it, and like invite people to read it. And then we can include that also as when we announce that, oh, the next book is this one. Well, we can also send them that video and we can put that in the group and we can use it to promote and to add more people to the community. And I'd also love if it works for y'all. I think it'd be really fun to schedule another chat as hosts as we're finalizing more and more of who it is going to be a part of this journey and this community, for all of us to talk about the enthusiasm of the book club, and to say like what we're looking forward to about it, what we've gotten from other kind of communities like this, and just have a bit of a chat and flow energy that way. Because part of it is this premise of the energetics of it. Like it's like, if it's not just this intellectual discussion, let's like, what is it exactly? We have people that are already interested that do shamanism, do acupuncture and different body work, they're tantra practitioners, they're theta healing practitioners, they use access consciousness tools, they it's just so many different things, artists, that people who read. And also I'd love it to be accessible as much as possible for people who aren't really avid readers, but that they can then find a way to access it because of the discussion. Like that, the discussion might be what opens up their ability to read the book or find the audio or catch the movie about it. Hi, yeah, I see you. So that's another piece as well. I mean, I there's so many people I know that was like, oh my God, I would love to participate in your book club. And I've done so many different ones, but I can't really sit still to read a book. So what if that wasn't a requirement at all? Like, it's about the discussion. It's about the connection. It's about the receiving from each other part more than anything. And these are just a platform for how to do that. These are just another way of doing it. And then, so after me, we have Megan, who just joined on. You want to say hi?
Hi, everybody.
And so Megan is going to be talking, at least the last time we talked, you're going to do Conscious Luck, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. And so do you want to talk a little bit about why you chose that book or what you like about it?
Mm-hmm. I think that luck is magic's ugly stepsister, meaning that it's an energy that has been really, I would say, judged a lot. Like, if I said to somebody, oh, that's very successful, oh my God, you're so lucky, they would be offended by that. But if I called them magic, they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm very magic, And so it's an energy that I feel like we can really have in our lives and play with, and it can add so much more. And it's a powerful energy. It's upward light energy, and it's very misunderstood. And so I also, just on my personal journey, like I really considered myself unlucky for most of my life, and unwinding that has opened up so much. So it's also part of a sort of a personal breakthrough that I know that a lot of people see themselves as unlucky, or they bastardize that energy. And so I just want to kind of wave the flag and say, hey, luck's cool. Let's play with it. I can't hear your sound, I think. Your mouth is talking, but
Thank you. Yeah. I wanted to make sure you had a clear audio for you, and I forgot to unmute myself. So Megan's call is going to be July 8th. And so that's going to be really great. The same time, 2 o'clock New York, 2 p.m. New York. And then we're going to have Greg Briers. And Greg is going to be having his call August 5th. And he's going to be talking about The Alchemist. Greg, did you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, for me, it's been such an amazing book. I read a different book by a guy called Jed McKenna, fictitious author, but a pseudonym name. And he talks about when you read a book like The Alchemist, if you were to read it from the space of being that person on their hero's journey, you actually get to see deeper into the story of the book. And I tend to do that anyway when I read a book. And so for me, it was like, the penny drop. And for me, it's one of the, it's you know, if you really want to be technical, it was a poorly written book. It's so simple, so plain. And yet the teachings and the principles that are within it are phenomenal, and easy to actually understand and comprehend. And for me, they've been transformative. I mean, yes, I've done Access and I've done so many other different modalities, but it wasn't until I realized that, the magic's within it and we actually all have it, that I was able to actually step forward and choose something different for myself.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, and I use The Alchemist all the time to teach. It travels with me all around the world when I'm traveling. I'm on my third copy because I keep wearing them out. My wife Gaby says, "What, you've still got that book? Don't you read anything else?" Yeah, but this is still my favorite book. And every time I open it, I learn something new. And there are many other books, but this one is my all-time favorite book. I've known people who have had it on the bookshelf for 25 years and never opened the cover. And suddenly they open the cover and go, "Oh my God, this is so amazing." But it's like Gary says, you get it when you get it, and you get it when you're ready to get it. So it's like sometimes the message is waiting for us, and all we have to do is stop, take a breath, smell the roses, and really is listen to that. And we forget to listen, and the book reminds us of that.
Awesome. And I'm really hoping that our community can remind people of that on a continuous basis as well. Thank you. So part of it for me with picking The Lightning Thief is looking at, there's this one moment in the book where the main character, it's a young boy, he's like, pre-adolescence really, maybe I think 11 or 12. And he realizes that all the difficulties that he's been having reading, because he was diagnosed with dyslexia, is actually a hidden gift that he has to read all the hidden languages, that is the Greek and everything like that. And so it's really looking at all the things that we judge ourselves for, that we think is actually a limitation or something that's wrong with us, and actually being like, no, oh my gosh, maybe I'm actually a demigod. Maybe I'm actually have all these other abilities that I hadn't discovered, or that I'm aware of these worlds and realms, and I have these associations with them. And it's just been there waiting for me to acknowledge them my whole life. And now it's here. And so that's just one of so many things where they keep flipping it over and over again in this story of, oh, well, this is something that I made myself wrong for, and it's actually something amazing about me. Oh, and this and this and this. And it's just, even right now I'm talking about it and it gives me goosebumps, because I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to, and that I still look at for myself, where I'm like, oh, this is something that I've judged myself for, and it's actually not something that is going to work to judge anymore. It's like the world is waiting for us to stop judging that and to actually use it for ourselves and for the world. So I'm hoping that the discussion about The Lightning Thief will not only invite people to do that, but also remind them to continue to do that as they're listening to each and every one of you in your books, because there's something like, oh, Megan said that I'm magic. Am I magic? I've never thought I'm magic. Like, oh gosh, can I actually receive the messages from these books? Like, what does this even mean? And things like that. And them comparing themselves to how other people receive the messages. And we each do in a different way. And I think that having so many different variety of perspectives and people and backgrounds from the co-hosts and also from the participants will invite people to have a lot of examples of like, there's just so many infinite ways for us to receive these messages from the books. And let's just play and see what shows up and how we start receiving them, hopefully clearer and faster together. Okay, I see the comment in the chat. Thanks. That's cool. Yes. And then after Greg, we have Loredana, who is going to be doing Loredana Gaspari, and she's going to be having her call September 2nd on the priori of the orange tree. Loredana, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, the first reason for those who know me, because I picked that book, is because it's talking about dragons. So, but this is a surprise, because in this book, dragons are not the protagonists, the real protagonists, but they are the women. So there is a fantasy story about this prairie and this tree of oranges, which has particular magic powers. But the most important thing is how the women involved behave one to the other. And I think that in this book, even if it's such like this, I mean, it's a big book. It's more than 1,000 pages. But there's so much which is untold rather than told in the story about the real courage and the real strength of women. And that was fascinating while I was reading it, because it's a surprise. It came as an unexpected surprise. I expected to read a beautiful story of dragons. Instead, I read something about the courage and the heart of the women, the real thing.
Awesome. And I think that a lot of people will resonate with that, because I mean, just how many moments now, past, future, present, all of it, that is just asking for a lot of strength, and people are wondering, do I actually have the strength to be here, to live, to create, to do what I'd really like to have as my life, and to create what I'd really like to have as my life. And so I think that that's going to be really cool. And one of the things I love that we talked about with your book is, since it is a big book, how we can break it down and make it really accessible for people, and maybe it be like this entryway for people to read it at their own pace later on. If they don't have a chance to read it in the month, or that's fine. And that it's really about having that discussion. And then, they can always check back and listen to the replay again later as they're continuing to read it, kind of like some breadcrumbs that they can have, so that they can maybe use our discussion as an accompaniment to their journey as they keep flowing through the book. Thank you. So that's going to be awesome. And then after Loredana, we have Séverine Latour, and her call is going to be on September 30th. I want you to say the title, because I want to hear it in French.
Okay, so the title in French is Du chaos naissent les étoiles. From chaos, stars are born. So I love the title, of course.
Chaos, stars are born. I love it.
And it's a very recent book, so it's going to be in French, and I'm going to work on having a very basic English translation for who would like to read it a little bit more and receive from it, of course. So it won't be as deep as if I was really translating close and so on, but you're gonna have the message of it for sure. And what would you do if you were having 2 weeks to save the life of 3 persons? And if you're not doing it, you're gonna die. What would you do? And that's the story, is that following her intuition anyway, even though it seems crazy. And it's more than that. It's more than, there is the mystery, of course, of that, like a run. Maybe it would be a good Netflix something. And it's also about, does love can survive everything also. So there is a life and death energy that is very present. And I will discover with you what's going to happen. When I picked the book, I wasn't aware of how much it was also talking about me. And so, and about my father, and, you know, what is going on in his life also, and what I'm witnessing with my father and my mother, their life, and what they are going through. And the acceptation, the acceptance, do you say that? Acceptance or acceptation of life becoming something that you can control, and me having the awareness that we can allow ourselves to die without using any object, and it's like a door towards that we are choosing, and we are just allowing us to slip through this door. And that's something that I'm not sure I'll be able to say during the book club, because I'm not sure everyone can hear that. But
Yeah.
I'm telling that here because I had the experience of those kind of things. And I don't know, there's something here that I'd like to mention in a way or another, that there is something that is greater than we imagine. And I wonder what is it for people. So I'm curious of what they're going to receive from the books. And I love hearing all of us talking.
That's what I was just going to say. I was like, I feel like we're already receiving so much just from this discussion of all the different entities that are these books, and we're getting messages. Like, I'm just like, oh wow, I'm already receiving so much from us discussing about the possibility of talking about these books. Like, it's in the future, but it's not just in the future, it's so here right now. So yes, thank you for that. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what shows up with your book. Part of what's already happening that I'll acknowledge is the journey's already started. I mean, as soon as we started talking about creating this, and it keeps morphing and evolving, I'm so used to now a lot of the creations that speak to me to keep evolving and just being like, all right, well, now this is changing here and we're going here. And so this is just the beginning. This is the platform for many different things. And especially since you'll get to invite people to your creations and your business, it's going to be those offshoots and the branches off of this tree trunk that is the community that we're already starting here. Then the last call that we have scheduled so far is October 28th with Caroline Morris. She sends her love. She had some other commitments at this time, but her book is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And that also has been turned into a movie. It's on Netflix, speaking of Netflix. And there's also a bunch of versions of it. She's an artist. She does commissioned artwork. She's amazing. If you haven't checked out her artwork, you definitely should. And there's an illustrated version of the book in English, and it's gorgeous. It's just this amazing other rendition of the story. And so I think she's going to be playing around with both of those and seeing which ones people choose to have as what the copy that they have in addition to Kindle or audiobook, whatever version. But given her spin on art and her unique perspective with that, I suspect that she's going to be talking about it and bringing in some of her artwork and how it influences that. So very much looking forward to it. And I'll have her tell you all more a little bit about why she chose that book. But from what she's told me, it has always really resonated with her, and how there is a journey in there. That seems to be the theme for a lot of the books that we've been bringing up, is that there is a character or multiple characters that go on a journey and they discover more about themselves. And I think that seems to be a continuous element to a lot of them, and that doesn't have to be the case for all the future ones. But I think that it's a great way to start off these discussions, because we're inviting people to do that with us, go on this journey. So that's awesome. And so the next calls that we have available that we're looking for those of you that are here that don't have an assigned date, we have November 18th and December 23rd open right now. And then we have somebody for January 20th that isn't available before the new year for their at that time for their call. So we do have some other people that are interested that aren't on here live right now, but it's first come, first serve. So if y'all already get, yes, I want to do this, and those dates work for you, just let me know. You can message me privately, and then we'll just have a quick chat directly and talk about which book you'd like to have as part of the book discussions in the heart of the community. And then we'll put you in, and then I just need that information that we talked about with your photo and your business info as we get closer. Some of y'all with your travels, I know Greg's like, he's sending me all this stuff. It's like, I don't want to forget later. So here it is, way ahead of time. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You don't have to wait, but at minimum, for sure, a month before, just so we make sure we have everything ready to go. What we're looking at is we have kind of a template for the banners, and we're going to morph it and make sure that your energies, because it's going to end the book cover of whatever your books are, we'll change the banner a little bit, and then we'll have the social media graphics as well for it. So making sure we have enough time to do all that and then give that to you so that you can also spread the word with your contacts and then use your affiliate links. Okay. Any other questions? Anything else that you would like me to address? Or obviously going to keep in touch, but before we start as well. But for right now today, what else do you require?
And I may have missed this popping in late, but is there something you require of us for promotion for the book club in general as different people come in? Obviously, I would promote to my group, my list for my book, but are you asking us to promote for the book club in general in each of the books?
It's not required for you to promote for the group, the book club and the meetings in general, but the more you do, it's all going to be part of your commission. You get the 15% commission, no matter if it's your call or anyone else's call. What I would like that I was asking for is if it would be possible for you about your specific book to introduce it with your enthusiasm, and just like what you did now, like talk about why you picked it, what you've gotten out of it. And it could be like 1 or 2 minutes. And then we can splice them together. You know, Shaima does magic with video stuff. And so she puts her spin on it, her magic, and she might be creating something where all of us, or individual ones, she'll put her spin on it, and we can all use it to promote. But then we can also combine them together as well. I mean, even just what we did today can be used really beautifully and tweaked a little bit, if that works for y'all. So, and we would, before we did anything, we would obviously show you first. You get to prove it. It's your face, it's your energy, you know. And then if you say green light, yeah, go for it, then everyone will have access to it that's in the co-host group. And so the co-host group is a Facebook Messenger group right now. Those of you who have a date already are in there, and we'll keep you in the loop as to different information, different promotional stuff. Remind you, like the kittens that you are, will herd you in or remind you when the calls are coming as well. And just have a support. Like, you know, sometimes there's just comments that you want to say as hosts that you don't get to say in the call. Like Severine was saying, like, it's like, not everyone can hear that, but did you guys notice this and this and this? Wow. And then the other thing that was shown when I was sharing and each of you will get this via email as well, or if you prefer through Messenger, the document I was sharing earlier, it also makes reference to these extension calls that I think it does. Maybe I took it out. That yeah, I did put it in here. There's a $30 extension calls that you can still get commission on. If people add that on, and they beyond the base of just having the audio recordings and access to the private group, it's under logistics. Severine, Caroline, and I are doing these like threesome adventure extension discussions right after our book club hangouts, and it's just going to be the three of us, but we're going to be taking some of the themes that each of the co-hosts and the group members discuss, and we're going to take it further and go deeper with it. And so for those that kind of want something a little bit more, we're going to offer that in those discussions. And so people can, all of you all can get an affiliate commission for the $17 a month and for the extension calls. They'll have two separate affiliate links for that. And they'll be offered as soon as they start with the 17, it in the Kajabi system that I use, they'll automatically be offered to add on the extension. So it'll keep tracking it through your affiliate. And so you don't have to necessarily share a separate link. But if they see it later on and they're like, hey, you know, Loredana, you told me about this other extension thing I can add, or they made reference to it in the chat that we had, where can I find the information? You can give them your link, and then you would also get the affiliate that way. Okay, so there's a lot of ways that it can keep extrapolating, and then it can also add on, like if they add on any of my other courses and stuff through there, that would still continue to also be part of your commission. So it's literally anything that they choose as through your entry point of your link can add to your commission. And I think it tracks it. We found out 70 maybe for a month. So anything for a month onward, they'll keep giving you the money for it. And then if they're part of a subscription, it's each month that it just keeps going. So
yeah, it's 1 month unless they are using a different browser, like a different, for example, they are on Google Chrome first time they click and then they use another one. That's where sometimes the cookies are lost or something. But more or less, it's around 4 weeks. And sometimes it lasts more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what's thing. I have no problem like with my team and crew and all of that. If you see any glitches, like we're tracking all that stuff, and it'll add the tag of you, like we can add and see where it came from. And then we can make sure that you keep getting your commission. So just message us or anything like that. But we'd really like to, this is an expression of our gratitude for you in having your energy in here and making this a possibility with people. Like, I'd love to keep giving y'all commissions for as long as we're doing this community together. Like, why not? Like, it's just, it's all flowing. let's just create something different together. So that's all the information I wanted to impart today. Unless there's any other questions, we can part ways. Did you have something else, Megan? Did I address your question from earlier completely?
Yes, and I'm wondering if there's a link that we can share to the book club and all of that. Is that all ready to go?
Yeah. So first you'll have to log in, and we'll have a login for the affiliate so that you can set up your affiliate account, and then you'll see the dashboard with all of the links, and it'll be clearly labeled that this is the I think it's labeled like messages from books community monthly, something like that, but it's messages from books. And then we see it in English, you see it in Italian, you'll see it in French. The French and Italian aren't set up yet, but they will be in the next couple of weeks. And we'll tell you green light, hey, you should see this here. We'll send you a message, but the English one's already done. And so as soon as you're affiliate, you'll see that link and you can start spreading the word and sharing it. Because it's what, a month and a half away now? Month and a little bit less, a little bit more than that. So a little bit more than a month away now. So this is definitely the time where we are already talking to people about it and letting them know about it. Thanks for that question. Yes. So I'm actually going to pop it into the chat, the one for you to set up your affiliate account. I have that ready. And then I'll also, and I'll be including that in the email with the replay. If I don't already have your email, make sure I have that. But this is the one, this is the information for both signing up for the affiliate and for logging into your affiliate account after you have it set up. That's in the chat right now. Okay. Anything else? No? All right, pretty succinct. bother me and Severine with any questions. Severine, if you don't already know, she's my worldwide coordinator person. So if I'm asleep, she's awake. If she's awake, I'm asleep, or we're both awake. I don't know. It's all over the place. But one of us should be able to get you what you need at any given moment. All right. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for helping me create this community and for just creating this something totally different together. I'm so excited. And we'll be in touch soon. Mwah. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.